Hey everybody, how you doing? Good morning, and thank you for joining me on Thursday morning. Let's talk about the market. Monday morning, I said 440 on the SPY. I predicted $440.12. The top of the SPY was 440 and 11. On Monday, I also said I expect the SPY to run to 444, 446, 448 before we possibly reject and either go back down all the way to like 415. Things are going to get ugly. Or potentially, if Nvidia has good earnings, we could shoot up to 460, 464, something to that extent. So let's talk about Nvidia's earnings and let's talk about what's expected from the SPY. So Nvidia came out, earnings, they approved a $25 billion share buyback. Earnings beat estimates, 13.5 billion versus 11.04. I thought they were going to come in just slightly under 12. I thought earnings per share was going to be 242. Estimates were at 207. They came in at 270. So here's my problem. When Nvidia beat earnings, I was like, if they just slightly beat by like 5 or 10%, shit, the stock might go down. They would really need to crush. And I wasn't sure they were going to crush. So I'll tell you about my play later on and what I'm planning to do with my AMD puts, because I didn't want to play Nvidia. Anyway, so what happened is they're forecasting going forward instead of what were they estimated? 12.5 billion next quarter. They're estimating 16 billion next quarter. Now let me explain what's happening. All right, Biden spoke about not allowing Nvidia to sell certain chips to China. So Chinese companies that make up a good portion of Nvidia's sales were front loading their sales. They were buying as many chips as possible that they might not be allowed to buy. Okay, so yes, I figured it out. We'll see if the market figures it out. Now, here's the crazy thing. Oh man, I hope I got this. I hope I wrote this down. I don't think I did. All the upgrades from Nvidia. Shit, man, I wish I saved it. Here we go. Here we go. Nvidia Stifle upgrade 600 from 440. Rosenblatt upgrade 1100 from 800. Barrett upgrade 750 from 570. KeyBank 670 from 620. Bank of America 650 from 550. From 550. Morgan Stanley 630 from 500. Piper 620 from 5. Raymond James 6. Everybody jumped on. There's got to be 15 different upgrades here, some double upgrades. All right, I see a question. If I was going to make one play today, what would that play be? Well, I'm going to get to that. I promise I will get to that. It's 8:32 now. You give me 8 minutes to talk. By 8:40, I'm going to give you my play of the day. Why? Because we have got to look at some shit. That's what I had on before everybody joined me. I had on our Discord. And again, anybody's Discord works well. But you need to use flow and algorithms. If you're not using the flow and algorithms, you're completely missing out. I'm very good at patterns. I never used the flow and algorithms for the first time. We started Discord for the first, 6 months, and I was crushing it because I understand patterns. I understand how the market moves. I understand the psychology behind trading. But if you don't, if you're newer to the market, even if you're old school in the market and you're like, geez, I just don't know if it's going up or down today, I have no freaking clue, then you need to use the flows and algorithms because it'll show you the net flow. It'll show you everything that's going on. Oh, here's something I want to show everybody. Okay, so let me pull up Discord and let me get over there. And I'm on the flow and algorithms page. Let me just see if I can find the thing I wanted to show everybody. I saw somebody else looked it up. Man, okay, here we go. Right, it's the SPY. Okay, so at 3:32 p.m. yesterday, the net flow for the SPY. So understand, green is premiums, right? Red is premiums for the puts. And white is price. And we were at 443 and change. We were pretty high. We closed right at 443. What happened about an hour before trading ended? They started selling their calls. They were getting rid of their calls on the SPY. So what does that tell me? It tells me the market could certainly pull back. You'd probably see something like a bearish divergence. Now, what happened? Nvidia had great earnings. Nvidia gave great guidance. Short players that are playing Nvidia short actually came out and thought Nvidia could potentially be cooking their books. So that's interesting. It's like when Trump said he didn't lose the election and they should recount the votes. Okay, so again, if I was going to make one play today, what would it be? Get to that shortly. Let's talk about the SPY ranges. All right, at 250 this morning. And let's remember, again, Monday I called 440. We hit 440. On Monday, I said we're going up to 445, possibly 446, 47, 48. And then the market has to make a decision where it either shoots up from there to 460, 470 on the SPY, or it corrects itself and pulls back 15%. something to that extent. I'm looking at anywhere from 403, 405, 415, 418 on the SPY. That would be my pullback area. But again, something needs to happen. And the way the economy is going right now, there's no major story. China's not invading Taiwan. There's no energy crisis in the U.S. There's no COVID spike or anything like that. So again, sitting back, just have my opinions, will play the market. Now let's talk about my strategy going into yesterday, going into Nvidia. Again, I thought they were going to come out. I thought they were going to beat by like 8%. I didn't think the market would like that. I thought instead of playing Nvidia, I've seen some weakness in AMD. I've seen some put sweeps come across AMD. Let me play AMD. Again, if Nvidia moves 10%, AMD would move 5%. Nvidia actually shot up. AMD shot up 3%. Now they're only up, let me just tell you, pre-market, what, 1.5%, something like that. I have AMD someplace here. AMD, yeah, 1.5%, $11.09. So again, it's $1.50 higher from where it was at close yesterday. I'm trying to figure out, do I want to hold my AMD puts? At some point, at the lowest point today, I'll sell them. I'll still have tomorrow left on the time. If I get another drop, we go to $1.970. I could take a minimal loss on that. However, if the market decides to be bought up on open and they're like, geez, Nvidia ran up to 515 after earnings, and they push it back to 510, and they push Palantir back to $16.06 instead of $15.82, wherever it is now, and they push AMD instead of 111 back to 113.40, where it was after Nvidia was spiking to 510, 515, then again, I would be in trouble, and I would hold on to my options too long. So that's what I'm working on right now. Do I think Palantir holds its gains or goes down? Well, it's going to follow Nvidia's play. So let's just remember, Palantir, my $500 challenge going into this week was holding 32 Palantir $15 calls. All right. At $16 Palantir stock, those calls would be worth at least $1 plus 2 extra days. I'd probably get $1.10. I would be at $3,500. So the account started with 500, made it to 1,000, 1,300 into Palantir a little too early. I'd still be at $3,500. It was a great strategy. Failed to execute. My SPY 438 calls that expired on Friday that I was looking for $6 from being 444. I sold at $2.72. So again, that account should be at 2,000. But what I'm worrying, all right, is how to salvage my account. It closed at 1,073. I'm in 4 AMD puts and 1 SPY put. And then I have cash on the side, and then I withdrew $200 cash the other day. So putting in 500, withdrawing 200, if I can get out 700, that would still put me at 500 to 900, still $400 profit. Yes, it's resetting my account. And my larger account, I made $2,054 on an AMD trade yesterday. I took the same trade an hour before close, and I'm probably going to lose $3,000 on it, maybe $2,800. But between the two trades, I'm going to be down $800. Would have been smarter for me to do absolutely nothing. Those Palantir calls, if I had done nothing all week, understand those Palantir calls went down to $17 on open yesterday. $17, and I'd be looking to exit at $1 today. Talk about a 400% return. So again, if I had done nothing for a week, not even held those Palantir, not even entered into them, and just said the day before Nvidia's earnings, I'm going to look to get into Palantir. In fact, the day of, I could have gotten not 17 cents. I wouldn't have catched the falling knife, but I could have got in at $20, $22. I was actually thinking about yesterday buying 50 contracts. And then all of a sudden it was 24, 26, 28. I'm like, no way I'm chasing. We could see it drop right back to 20. Okay, that was yesterday morning. But at $20, I was thinking of buying 50 contracts. Well, great. That would have been a $4,000 profit. Would have been my best profit in like 2-3 weeks. All right. So what's up with Jackson Hole? Again, you've got the Fed. They meet, once every other month to discuss Jackson Hole's an annual thing. They're going to discuss inflation. They're going to discuss the job numbers. They're going to discuss all this. And then they're going to understand what the Fed says and what the market thinks. There's usually a disconnect. All right. The market already has priced in no more rate hikes and a rate cut starting in March of next year. So we're already almost in September. So September, October, November, December, January, February, March. 7 months, we're going to see our first rate cut. That's what the market has priced in. Now, if the Fed comes out and they're like, whoa, inflation is still pretty high. You can see mortgage rates going up for the 30-year fix. People are paying $420 more this year than they did last year. then they could say, well, we need to tailor inflation. We're going to do another 25 basis points. It might happen in like November. Now, they're not going to forecast it like that, but their wording will say, and they'll sometimes let you know, 8 out of the 12 members, 9 out of the 12 members think one more rate hike is needed before the end of the year. And then the market goes and adjusts the Fed funds rate, which is their prediction of what the Fed's going to do. And then the market reacts to that. All right. So with that said, let's get on to Discord. I see somebody asking about Amazon. So, let's check out Amazon. See, first, you got to wonder about the psychology. Before we go into that, let's just talk about psychology of the market today and what could potentially happen. And then we'll get into Discord, Amazon, looking at the flows and stuff. All right. So the SPY closed at, let me just see where the SPY closed at. Find this right here. Here we go. SPY closed at 443 flat. We're close to 445 this morning, basically up 2 points. So what am I looking at? Again, Monday's generally a 3-point range. Tuesday, usually 3.25. Wednesday's usually a 5-point range. Thursday, it comes down a little. So let's just say I'm looking for a 4-point range on the SPY. Now stick with me here. Okay. We saw pre-market 446, like 70 as the high. So I'm saying to myself, that was the pre-market high. We're back down to 445. It's potential we can be bought up there on open or early in the morning. If we reject, and if I'm looking for a 4-point range and we reject that 446.70, 4 points from that puts us down at 442.70. So I say to myself, okay, if that is possible, then at some point during the day, we're actually going to turn red. So we're green up 0.5%. Tech is up 1 point something percent. Now, I'm not talking about tech. I'm talking about the SPY. SPY makes up Dow plays and tech plays. But if it was thinking about the Qs, would the Qs go down and be at the flat level today? Kind of really hard for me to say that unless Nvidia just shits itself. Now, here's the thing. I heard people on Wall Street with all these upgrades talking. What's likely to happen is like buy the rumor, sell the news. The rumor was Nvidia was going to have great earnings. Nvidia actually had great earnings. That's the news. And people might dump the news and just wait for Nvidia to consolidate. Shit, we were in at 460. We got out at 504 this morning. We got out at 508 this morning. Consolidates back down to 480, 482. I don't know. If it does consolidate back down and drops, instead of being up 7%, only goes up 4.25%, loses 3% or 15 points or 12 to 15 points today from 505 and it goes down to 492. Understand the rest of the market's going to follow suit. Apple, which was up to 183 overnight and now is basically even or break. Let's see where Apple is pre-market. Apple wasn't benefiting. Now, a stock that was benefiting, Apple's red pre-market. A stock that was benefiting was Tesla, was up to 242. It's at 239 right now. So again, Coin, which was up, is now flat. Meta, which was up to 303, is now 299. So you're talking about 1.5%. Again, Meta was extremely strong. Google was extremely strong. I see Nvidia right here at 501 and 19 right now. So again, Palantir 1576. They're taking away. Okay, I'm seeing AMD under 111. That's good for me. So again, let's just go back and think about this thought process. AMD closed at 109.50. It's at 111 this morning. I'm obviously going to lose the IV. So I'm kind of thinking, okay, maybe 10 to 16%. I'm willing to take maybe a 16% loss. Why? Because overnight, when AMD was spiking and futures were spiking, I thought to myself, holy shit, you know what? If I take a 60% haircut on the open positions I have, I would be okay to get out with a 60% haircut. If I can cut that 60% haircut to 16% and put in my orders at 16%, well, shit, I just saved myself 44%. Although I'm not profiting 44%, it's in my account. My account would be 44% less. All right, I see somebody asking about AI. Understand, we showed AI, I think it was Monday. It might have been Tuesday. I showed you guys AI. The puts on AI, the put premiums dropped down. And I was like, wow, that is actually extremely bullish. I'm in Palantir, but if I had to pick a choice, AI looks a little more bullish. And what happened on Monday and Tuesday? AI went up $1.30, $1.50, or maybe that was Tuesday and Wednesday. I haven't looked at AI. I don't really follow AI. Volume's light. It's not as experienced company. Again, if you're really looking at AI, you've got to look at where the value is. It could be Palantir. Again, I'm not chasing. I happen to think AMD by the charts looks like it can revisit $92. And then I'm thinking, God, if all these banks and institutions didn't upgrade Nvidia to these ridiculous price targets. Remember, they did the same thing with Tesla. Remember with Tesla, it was like $500. They upgraded it to like $2,500, $2,000, $1,800. What happened every day? Tesla went up 5%. It was like $5.25, $5.75. Next day, it made $6.10. Then all of a sudden, it had a great day. It was like $6.70. It went up 10%. And I'm like, holy shit. So understand, if you were trading back in 2020, you were taking almost nothing worth of money, and you were just crushing it playing Tesla every day. Okay, so what else did I want to talk about this morning? I already mentioned the upgrades. Everybody's focused on Nvidia. Somebody else wrote, I'm focused on job claims at 8:30 this morning. Nvidia guidance calculates the earnings. Now, here's it going. For quarter number 3, analysts were expecting $12.5 billion. Nvidia said $16 billion, plus or minus 2%. Analysts were expecting $2.29 per share. The new estimate calculation based on their guidance is really like $3.17 to $3.47 a share, which would crush next quarter as well. So, I mean, that's why you're seeing all the upgrades, because, you know, they did the math. I did the math. Again, more Nvidia shit, Palantir shit. Nvidia, I was listening to the live earnings. Let's see, Russian private jet. The jet that killed the guy that was heading the Wagner group. I mean, how screwed up is that? I heard it was an anti-aircraft missile. The plane was fine. Then all of a sudden it got hit and dropped down. Just trying to see if I have any other news stories that I want to share. Okay, here's an interesting news story. I said I could be bullish China. That was dating back to Monday. China's been ripping higher. K-Web, BABA. I got out of those BABA calls. Remember, I was sharing the BABA calls in at what, $2.07, went to $3.25 yesterday, up 50%. I got out with 30%. I was happy with 30%. I wasn't killing it. Now, here's the thing. I made a post on moomoo, and I got response from, as a reminder from the Chinese, someone from China, the mainland economy is currently extremely unstable. So please invest your money carefully. That was from somebody that follows me. Another person from China. When it comes to the internet in China, it is poor economy that policies don't dare to suppress, or the economy is good and it's crazy suppressive documents. It's never a good thing to invest in China. Now, these are coming from 2 Chinese citizens. So again, you know, I would just be careful. So dollar is going up. So yeah, if the dollar starts pushing up, and I made this announcement on Webull, and someone was like, it's not that easy, and basically called me a clown. And I have one thing to say to that person: F you, because it is that easy. The market moves with data. It happens to be when the US dollar goes higher, the market has downward pressure. It's like inflation. If things cost more, people tend to buy less. So US dollar going up, as it goes up to 104, downward pressure on the market. If you see it drop like yesterday, okay, the market could go up. What happened as the dollar went yesterday? It looked like a freaking slide. The market was going up. So that person was like, that doesn't, but everybody else understands that kind of makes sense. Just like interest rates. When interest rates go up and I can invest $1 billion in a fixed 5% interest rate versus the market that's at an all-time high or close to it, and I'm not sure how we might be entering a recession, Europe, China, Germany, I mean, all these countries, I'm going to take that. So what am I going to do? Pull liquidity out of the market. Would I short AMC or stay away from it? Great, because I don't really follow AMC, but here's the catch. AMC yesterday dropped to $2. Then they were doing a 10-for-1 reverse split. I can tell everybody the details. In fact, somebody dropped it on our Discord, so I'm just going to read it because we have a lot of AMC people there. But let's bring up AMC. Okay. AMC Entertainment has announced a 1-to-10 reverse split, which is expected to take effect on 8/24. There's no fee associated. Shareholders will be saving 1 share for every 10 shares. For example, investor owns, I mean, he's just telling you a little more. Everybody knows that. Please note, 8 provision will not be eligible to receive any additional AMC shares as per the settlement. Okay, so what happens when a company does a reverse split? It's usually shit. Now, understand, AMC's so here's the thing that caught me yesterday, and we could definitely look at AMC. AMC's market cap. Now, understand they did a 10-to-1 reverse split, so it's not actually 101 million, which Webull has it listed at. It's probably $1 billion. Now, still at $1 billion, company losing money, movie theaters, no one's really going to the movies, kind of sucks. But let's remember, AMC was one of the first meme stocks. So yeah, what do I actually want to do this morning? Let's actually check out AMC. Let's go to Discord and let's see what is going on with AMC. So let's look at the net flow for AMC. We'll go out 5 days. Let's look at the flow sum. Oh, I hope it's here. It might be too early in the day for this, but I love to look at the flow sum. Yeah, it's too early in the day. So what I'm going to watch AMC for is put premiums are still freaking high. Can you guys see this? Yes, thank goodness. Sometimes I just talk to myself and have this on. Put premiums are higher. Spiked yesterday. When did they spike? Before the AMC drop. AMC was $3.50. The puts were spiking. So again, if you're following along, you'd be like, oh shit, they're getting into puts. What happened? It went to $3. Okay. They haven't sold their puts. When I see them selling their puts, or if I see a massive call spike right up to here or something like that, and I see some call flows, I'm going to say to myself, shit, AMC is going to spike. Because understand, AMC is not spiking unless people are loaded in calls first. There's no doubt about it. And yes, people on Webull, they're not clowns. They're rookie traders that got drawn in to AMC and GameStop, and they got used by the institutions. Citadel crushed GameStop. Citadel's whole don't let GameStop go. They made a crushing on GameStop. They were bullish at one point. They were bearish at one point. So understand, some of these people have been locked into AMC forever. Me, how would I play AMC? I wouldn't be buying shares. I mean, could AMC file for bankruptcy? Sure, I don't know enough about the company. But again, if I see any type of spike in call volume, I'll get interested. So I did mention to someone I'd give my play of the day. I haven't figured out my play of the day yet. So let's just figure out the market. Again, I'm trying to say, would I buy puts on the SPY? I did that yesterday at what I thought the SPY would reject, 442.60. Okay. And then we closed above that. We went a whole dollar higher. So for me to say I'd be looking for puts and we can see the same fade higher, what I'm expecting from the market is I'm expecting a sell-off. I'm expecting some consolidation. I saw it on Tuesday, Wednesday, leading into Nvidia earnings, and Nvidia killed it. Nvidia is responsible for 0.45 movement in the SPY today. So the fact that the SPY is up 0.44 right now, that's all due to Nvidia. And then you have to have the offshoot, AMD, everything that flows around, Microsoft, this, that. So I don't want to tell you all these things are going to go up 2% today and the market's going to be extremely strong and be on the wrong side of that. It's always risk versus reward. And for me to give you a pre-market play on the SPY would be extremely dangerous. So why? US dollar spiking. If you tell me the US dollar, okay, here's your play of the day. Watch the US dollar. If it goes up to 104, the market is going to drop. We have Jackson Hole today, Fed announcement, 2 o'clock, 2:30. There's going to be a question and answer period as well. So if you see 104.06, 104.10, the market's going to face some trouble. Now, if you see this drop, all of a sudden the market opens and this drops to 103.42 or something like that, then I'd be like, SPY calls. This goes to 104.14, SPY puts. Again, it's too early to tell you. Other times, now here's the thing. Of my accounts, my last 4 bad trades that I'm in, 2 of those 4 trades, all 4 of those trades were an instinct trade. I think this is going to happen. Me feeling something's going to happen. 2 of those 4 trades were completely against the flow and algorithms. Okay. And those 2 trades, which were UAL and another trade, hurt my account. Okay. I was going against the flows. The other 2, which I didn't know at the time, the flows were inconsequential at the time, and I ended up being right. I just sold a little early. I took profit at like 30% instead of 130%. So those are my last 4 not so great trades. The 2 worst trades were the ones where I went against the flows and algorithms. So let's just look at a couple of different stocks today, and we'll see the flows and algorithms. Hopefully I just put that up for you to share. All right, I want to look at Boeing. Boeing announced some bad news, was off 3%. Then rebounded. So let's look at the net flow for Boeing. Let's go out 3 days. I'm trying to find a trade. Remember, that's what I'm here to do. Trying to find a trade. Okay, so what do we see? Calls on Boeing. Premiums still pretty low. Puts premiums still pretty high. I'm going to look at this when the market opens. I'm assuming Boeing isn't doing that bad. So I can see Boeing dropping down to the 226 level. So if I can get in puts at 228, not even 229, but I think the market's going to reject. If I see the market or the SPY reject, 446, 445, whatever it may reject, then I know it's time to get into puts. Okay, you got to use that 1-minute chart, 3-minute chart. What do I like to use? I like to use what do I use? TradingView. Okay, and I do it for free, and I'll show you exactly what I'm looking at real quick. And then we'll move on, and I'll head over to Discord. Okay, so let's just see Trading View. Make sure you guys can see this with me. Here we go. All right, so here we go. All right, so what do I have on? I've got all my stocks that I follow. I like Trading View. I've got the 4-hour chart, which gives me a little more feedback. But what do? I go to the 1-minute chart. The 1-minute chart is like a sniper. So when I see volume here on the 1-minute chart, do I jump in? No. But I see the continuation on the 3-minute. So what do I like? I look for it to sell off. So sell off, finally a buying cue. I could have bought here, okay? It finished the day up here. But let's say I didn't. Let's say you're still waiting. You could have bought here. Now, again, nothing goes straight up. You saw the downtick. So that's what you want to look at in certain stocks. But let's look at AMD. Let's go back to Amazon 5-minute. Let's go back to something a little longer than that. Let's do a 30-minute chart. Just so we have some more concept to put it in, more perspective. I'm looking here. Huge sell followed by inflow. Well, we saw the huge buy. It would not surprise me if we saw the opposite happen. Again, anytime you see huge inflow followed by 2 outflows. Huge inflow followed by an outflow, right? It does the opposite. It's kind of like the reversal, right? Huge outflow followed by huge inflow. It's almost like people are seeing value. So what did we see yesterday? We saw a huge inflow, a little pop. We're up pre-market. I mean, I got to assume they're going to try and fade this because we're right here, 137. You've got to go back to what? The 17th of August to get that price. What were they doing? Well, they were selling pretty hard to take us back to 134 and change. And in fact, we dipped down to 131, 132. So I still think you got to kind of fade Amazon today. That's without looking at the flows. Now, again, I'm looking at AMD. Well, holy shit, AMD was 113.40, $113.40 after Nvidia had earnings. Where is it now? It's up $1. So this would tell me, okay, I'm in AMD puts. I'm going to lose my IV right away as soon as the market opens. It's only up $1. Does that let me limit my loss? Well, here's the catch. AMD could drop hard on the market open, be at yesterday's close, 109.40. All of a sudden, someone's paying what my options closed at yesterday, $1.57. So I get out at $1.51, let's say. I take a $6 loss per contract because it dropped and someone gets excited and they want to buy my piece of shit. All right. Now, again, these could turn profitable. But for me to turn profitable and get $1.50 where they closed at yesterday out of the option, there are the 107 puts, I need AMD to be at 105.50. And for me to be more profitable, I need AMD to be at 105, and I've got today and tomorrow. Now, we've already seen it go down from 113.40 to 110.40. Can it drop to 108 today? And if it drops to 108 today, can it drop to 105 tomorrow? And if it does, then I'm missing out on 30 or 40% profit. So that's what I'm putting, my risk versus what I'm missing out on. Am I okay to take a 6% loss? Yeah, remember I started out this live stream and I was like, shit, I was going to yesterday thinking I was going to take a 40 or 50 or 60% haircut. Now I'm looking at it. AMD is only up $1. I'm saying to myself, my haircut could be 16%. And people say, no, your option is going to open up less than 16%. Yes, but if AMD drops on open or it's sometime in the first 5 minutes, all of a sudden my ask price is going to pass and someone's going to buy my ask. And even if it's just for a second and then it rebounds and AMD's up $1 again, guess what? I got out. I'm losing 6%. If you're still holding the position, now you're down 16%. And then you're saying to yourself, God, 16%, should I sell now? Now you're down 24%, then 28%. Remember, these expire for me on Friday. So again, I just formulated my own strategy today. Bad positions that I'm in, that I'm not in the money or close to the money, I will probably close out and hope for a little downward pressure this morning on the market, US dollar spiking. Okay. If I'm in a position in the money, let's say I had AMD 110 puts, and I think it's going down, then yeah, potentially if I thought it was going to 106, then yeah, that could be a hell of a return. And why am I think that? Again, when I look at AMD, the channel shows me it's going down. If it wasn't for freaking Nvidia just crushing earnings, I'm sure AMD would be at 108 this morning pre-market. The whole market would be getting crushed. All right, so I'm just looking. I'm trying to find something that has interest to me, stock on my watch list that might make sense. Again, I mean, when I look at Meta's selling yesterday, okay, so what's changed between yesterday and today? So maybe my play of the day is Meta, and I know Meta looks bullish, so I have to look at it on the flow and algorithms when I get off with you all. But Meta was 302, 303 after hours, pre-market. Look at this outflow selling end of the day. Usually it's buying, okay? They're pushing it down to 293 and change, right from 296. Again, end of day. that would have to completely reverse. So I'm going to watch Meta within the first 2 or 3 minutes. If I see a big red candle to start the day and then it pops back up, I think I might get involved with some Meta puts. Again, I'm looking to get the best entry, and usually for me, the best entry is not at 9:30 a.m. or 9:36 a.m. So I'm usually watching on the sidelines. All right, with that said, if you like what I do, please thumbs up. Join me tomorrow morning. If you don't like what I do, please don't come back. And I'll see everybody later. I appreciate it. Ask any questions after. If I didn't answer your question, just ask it, and we'll get to that. See everybody later. Peace.